Hi there everyone, it's Liz again and thanks so much for joining me today here on Annie's YouTube channel. We are live today and I will be live here on YouTube every Wednesday at 1 p.m. Eastern Time, and we're just talking about crochet. So if you want to join me, I'm waiting for people to come in and say hello, talk about crochet, let me know what you're working on, if you have any questions, or if you just want to chat about your week or about what you're working on, any tips that maybe you have for us, crochet tips. What about struggles, if you're having any struggles with any projects that you're working on now. So whatever you want to talk about, I am here, and I am here live to chat. So I'm working on a few projects. One, and I may have talked about this last week if you were here. One project that I'm working on is the Morocco Mosaic Afghan, and that is by Lena Skavagerson for Annie's Signature Design Spring Collection. And I'm going to show you how far I've gotten. I had to take a little break from this one and work on a few different things, so I've only got kind of the bottom done, but yeah, it's looking good so far. The color work is great, and I really love the colors so far, and it's been pretty quick to work up. It's a little less complicated than it looks. The stitches are really pretty easy to do and pretty quick to work up. And this is with this nice Plymouth Encore yarn. It's an acrylic wool mix, and it's really soft and squishy and great. So I want to see if anybody wants to join me and say hi and chit chat with me today, because I'm not only chatting, but I am going to show you a stitch demo. So I do like to talk to everybody, hopefully get some feedback, questions, whatever it is anybody wants to talk about. But I like to do a little tutorial as well, so that way you're getting something out of this other than just chatting, but that's always good too. So today I'm going to talk about the Little Black Fringed Dress, and I'm going to show you how to do the stitch on that dress. So if you have not seen that, let me show you what that's from. That is from the spring issue of Crochet magazine. So that the Little Black Fringed Dress is in here, and it's a really cool pattern here. This is what it looks like. It's so pretty. I mean, this looks like, to me, this looks like a dress just right off, like a store-bought, you know, something that you would buy right off the rack. It's so unique and so fun for spring, with the fringes on the bottom, and if you can see that the stitch pattern is like a diagonal. So if you've worked corner to corner, you know corner to corner is worked diagonal. So you start at the bottom corner and then you work your way up, and your rows are diagonal instead of back and, you know, horizontal or vertical. They're diagonal. So that's how you do this, but it's got a little bit of a variation than the standard corner to corner. So I'm going to show you how to do that. And if anyone wants to say hello and let me know what they're working on, like I said, I'm working on the Morocco Mosaic blanket. I'm also working on the Samsara lace pullover, and if you were with me last time, you saw that. And I am almost completely finished with that. I basically have to do half a sleeve and then seam it up, and I'll be finished with that. So that's fun. I can't wait to show you how it turned out. So far, it's looking great. And before I get into showing you how to do the corner to corner, I also wanted to just talk about this, the April issue of Crochet World, because this one just came out fairly not too long ago. So it's got a lot of new fun patterns in it that I really love. This is one that I may have shown you, talking of corner to corner. This is another great corner to corner pattern that I think is really cute. It's just a little topper, so like maybe like a layering piece for the cooler nights, if you have like a little top under it, and then wear this over it with a cute little button in the front. I love that one. There's about 5 corner to corner projects in this issue, and there's also a few stash busting projects. So if you're looking to kind of make use of all that extra yarn you have in your stash, I know you guys have it. I know you do. I have it too, and I keep buying more, and I know you do the same thing. So this is a few projects to sort of make use of some of that yarn that you have. Especially if you only have, like me, you only have one color. And then this is another one of my favorites in this issue. This is by one of my favorite ladies in the crochet world, Tony Lipsy, and it's called the Summertime Tank. And this is a great, fairly, yeah, it's got like a 3 on the easy. So I'd say it's on the easy, beginner to easy side. So if you've done maybe a garment, or even if this is your first garment, this is probably a good project for you. So Tony was on Facebook Live this week, and she did a demo of the extended single crochet stitch, which is what she used for this top. So you can watch the replay if you want to make this. Go ahead and watch that replay over on Annie's Facebook page, and you will see how easy it is to make that pretty top. So if anyone has any questions about any of that, go ahead and let me know. And like I said, we're live, so I can answer any questions you have. But let's get into the stitch demo. Now, I started a little tiny sort of swatch, so you can see what the corner to corner looks like. If you've never seen it, you know, if you've seen it, it's pretty standard, but if you haven't, this is what it looks like. So it starts out here, and then it works wide like that. And if you can see, this is a little bit of a variation on that. So these holes right here, that's the variation, and that's how you make the little black diagonal fringe dress. It's basically this stitch that I'm going to show you. Except for the top part, you know, there's a little more detail there. But this, if you can do this, then you can do that pattern, because it's a really fun one too for a dress, and it works up quickly. So let me move my camera so I can get you guys close up and you can see what I'm doing here. Okay. And if I can zoom in a little bit, that might work. Okay, hopefully you can see this all right. Okay, now to start a corner to corner project, you start with a chain of 6. And corner to corner is going to be just either double crochets or half double crochets. It's usually double crochet, so you're just working a double crochet throughout your project. A lot of corner to corner projects have a lot of fun color work, so if you see like graph gans and things like that with pictures on the front of it, that's a popular way to do corner to corner. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So now I've got 6 chains, 1, 2, 3, 4, and I'm going to work into the 4th chain from the hook. And I like to go into the back bump or hump, whatever you want to call it, this back loop right there. That's just the way I like to do it. I find it easier. You don't necessarily have to. And then you're going to make another double crochet in the next chain and then in the last one. And that's how you start. So I just did a chain 6, and I did a double crochet in the 4th chain from the hook and then in the next 2 chains. So I've got 1 block. And then, so the first block is the first row. So each row you'll have the same number for that corresponds with the row. So if you're on row 3, you'll have 3 blocks. If you're on row 25, you'll have 25 blocks. Okay, so now you're going to do, for row 2, we're going to chain 6 again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And same thing, 1, 2, 3. Fourth chain from the hook. I like to get my stitches into those back bumps first before I turn my work. I just like to do it that way. And each of the next 3 chains, we make that double crochet. And now you've got this, which looks a little, what do I do with this? But actually this is where you do the turning. So you're going to turn this guy so it's like that. And then here's my chain 3 from the first, from the starting chain, and then I just slip stitch into there. So see how this one's facing a different way than this? That's how they all will be. So now I did the first block of row 2, and now I'm going to do the second block of row 2. And for the second block of the row, we chain up 3, and that counts as 1 double crochet. And then we're going to work the rest of the double crochets into this chain space. So that's what makes it a really quick technique, because you don't always have to work into those smaller chain spaces or stitches. Most of the time you're working right into that big chain 3 space. So it's kind of like when you do a granny, it's, you know, it goes a little quicker. So now I have the start of my corner. So row 1, and this is row 2 diagonal. And then we do the same thing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 to start row 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. Right into that chain. Move my yarn, get some more yarn here. Okay, so I did the second chain, the fourth chain from the hook, and then the next chain, I work a double crochet, and then the next chain, I work a double crochet, and there's another block. So now you just sort of put it together like that, and then you go right into that chain 3 space with a slip stitch. And then chain up 3. 1, 2, 3 to make my second block of row 3. And then I do 1, 2, 3 double crochets in there. And now I'm going to connect to this other block. So we go straight into the chain 3 space and slip stitch, and then chain up. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, and 3. So here's what we have so far. That's my corner. So this is actually the wrong side, and then the next row will be the right side. So let me show you another row. We'll chain up 6 again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And the right side and the wrong side is more important when you're changing colors a lot. That will become more important, because it really doesn't look very different. 1, 2, 3, 4 on the right side or the wrong side if you're using all one color, or if you're just doing like stripes. But once you get into doing like graphgans and all these little like graphic images on the corner to corner blanket, you have to kind of keep track of your right and your wrong side, so that way you can keep all your color together. Okay, so here, see how it like hangs out right there? You just boop, pop it together. and slip stitch there. It's super simple once you get the hang of it. It took me a little time to get it because I didn't watch a video. I was trying to like read it from a book, and it was kind of hard to understand. But once I saw somebody actually do it, and then I did it myself a few times, it's very, very simple and quick. So I did my double crochets in there, and then slip stitch to the next block up. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, and 3, and then slip stitch into there. Remember, we're on row 4, so we should have 4 blocks. If you only have 3, don't forget to do that last one. 1, 2, 3, and then 1, 2, and 3 double crochets in there. And so we work from right to left, so this is the right side. So that's it. And this can just grow and grow and grow and grow. And once you, in corner to corner, once you get your project to be the width and the length that you want it, that's when you start decreasing. So you'll keep going and going and going until like that very last row that you've worked, it'll be in the middle. Once that's the length or the width that you want it to be, then you start decreasing. And then once you do the decreasing, it works its way back into the top corner. So it starts out in the lower right corner, works, and then decreases back down and until it ends with 1 block at the upper left-hand corner of your project. That's how it works. And you can do it in a square or a rectangle, or you can finish it off here if you wanted a diagonal. If you wanted it to finish on the diagonal like that, you could finish it off and then just add stitches here to make a straight edge. But I just want to show you a little bit of a variation, because this is the variation that you need to do for the Little Black Fringed Dress. So now when we start the next row, rather than chaining up 6, we're going to just chain up 5. And that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And here we're only going to make 3 double crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4. So we're going in the 4th chain again. We make 1 double crochet. The first skipped ones count as a double crochet, and then into the last chain. So we only have 3. And then we turn just like normal. And now, usually we would do a slip stitch, chain up 1, and then make another block. But to make this little lace sort of open work variation for this dress, we're not going to do the slip stitch. We're going to work our 3 double crochet, and then we're going to double crochet right into there and that's going to be how we join it. So you yarn over, go straight into the chain 3 space, and work a double crochet. So that's 1, 2, and 3. This row only has 3 double crochets in the block. Okay, so that's why we've got a little bit of an open area there. Okay, now we're going to do the same thing again, but with a chain 1. So we chain 1, and then go straight into this chain 3 space with 3 double crochet. 1, 2, and 3. Chain 1, 1, 2, and 3. Chain 1, and now we're going to go into the last one. We're going to go back to doing 4 in there. So 1, and that's like just to bring the height back up to where it needs to be. 2, 3, and 4. So now you can see, since we did that little variation, we not only have some pretty open work here, but we also have a straight edge, as opposed to when it's like a step. The edge is like a step. So this would be a nice way to end your piece on a diagonal, instead of, and if you wanted sort of a triangular type shape instead of a square or a rectangle. And then you just continue with a few more rows of the solids, and then alternate rows of the open work, and that's how you do the diagonal fringe dress. It's really quite a pretty pattern. I really love how it ends up looking in the dress. In the end, the dress just has a really pretty open work look. Let me show it to you again so you can see. You can see this a little bit closer. See? So there's what we just did. Those really pretty diagonal open work. This is such a great like fun for the beach, or just like a fun spring day for a barbecue party or something like that. I love this one. So that's how we do it. If anyone has any questions about this one, I hope that you hope I was able to explain it in a way that you can do it like this. And again, like I said, this dress is in the Spring 2020 issue of Crochet magazine, and it's designed by Tammy Hildebrand. So go ahead and pick up one of these so you can do this dress. And then we also talked about the April issue of Crochet World, and I'll put the links to both of those in the description. So if you want to check those out, I will link them. And I'm gonna flip my phone again so I can say goodbye. There I am. Well, thanks everyone for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed my little demo. And don't forget, I'll be back next week at 1 o'clock for another YouTube Live and another demo. And if you want more crochet, go over to Annie's Facebook page and join the Facebook group, because we have a fun Facebook group over there where people can ask questions, give tips, show off what they're working on, all kinds of fun stuff like that. So make sure you join the Facebook group. And thanks again. See you next time. Bye.